What's going on, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Today I'm going to share with you some disturbing news, followed shortly after this quick sip of our Boston Lager. So, it all started off this morning. And I needed to check readiness monitors on a Nissan Frontier. In fact, I even drove it home the night prior, just so that way I could set the last monitor, which was the EGR monitor. And I needed to plug a scan tool in to see if the monitors had set so we could smog the vehicle. Now, I already told you guys that C-Reader 319, that thing is the freaking bee's knees. I'm not even kidding. That thing is freaking lickety-split quick, and it's so cool because while you're on a road test, it'll actually tell you if the monitor went from incomplete to complete without ever having to disconnect or back out of the menu. It'll just tell you. It'll just switch from incomplete to okay, which is perfect. But since we're in the current process of reviewing the C-Reader 123X, I figured, hey, let me plug this bad boy in, right? Connect it real quick, hit the IM, see what's good, and this is what happened.
Alright, so one of my biggest ongoing problems so far that I've ran into with the C-Reader 123X is that this is a 99 Nissan Frontier, and not only can I not auto ID search it and I have to try to type it in manually, but it doesn't even pick up the connection that I have established to let me know if the readiness monitors have ran. Now I can check readiness monitors with that C-Reader 319, the little pocket reader, which you would think I'd be able to do this, but just says failed. And if I go to diagnosis and I scroll down here to Nissan and I hit OK, you're going to see it's also going to have trouble trying to identify this. So I've literally got to go in manually and tell this thing what vehicle it is, and then see if I go auto search health report, which could take a minute. See if it'll do it. It didn't do it earlier. Yeah, see, look, not equipped to the PCM. You know that's a lie. So I don't know. I think it's got some quirks for sure. I'm not really sure what the deal is. It's up to date. All the software is up to date. But so far I haven't been wildly impressed with this. It's worked on probably 50% of the vehicles that I've used it on. I've even used it on this Grand Cherokee and it won't read that either. I have to manually input it in. It wouldn't read the 96 Mustang either. And there's been a handful of other ones, but seems like 2007 and newer it works fine, but for anything older than that, we've just got connectivity issues that I can get with a regular pocket reader. And just to show you guys that I'm not making this stuff up, you can't make it up. I'm not diagnosing today, but you have to go into the diagnostic menu in order for it to pick up the correct protocol and tell me if the readiness monitors have set, so that way we can do a smog. So let's give this one a second and I'll show you the difference here. I sat here for probably about a good 10 minutes with that C-Reader 123X, and all I wanted was readiness monitors. Okay, so see, look, 2 incomplete, 0 DTCs. Okay, let's see which 2 need to be set. Okay, EVAP and EGR. So those are the 2. See, that's all the information I wanted. It took less of 30 seconds to figure that out.
Alright, so as you guys can see, it is not a software issue, okay? All the software is up to date. It's not an internet connectivity issue. I've got internet, which it shouldn't be, because most of it, all the information that the scan tool should be picking up should be coming from the DLC. The internet access, that's just so that way you can share the health report if you should so desire. And this scan tool, in my opinion, is like, if I had to rate it, you know, between 0 and 5 stars, I would say at best a 2. maybe 2.5, but no, yeah, probably a 2. All right, so let's talk about some of the features and benefits real quick. I don't know that it's powered on. I did turn it on. I might have turned it back off. Power it back on. While we're waiting for this thing to boot up. So some of the features that I do like. With the health report, as long as it can connect to the vehicle interface and give you all the list of DTCs, I think it's absolutely ingenious to have some way of being able to create a health report with the VIN number, year, make, model, all the DTCs available, so you can send it via email and print it off. I think that's awesome. I think that's a phenomenal idea. What I don't see on here is any way to reset the oil life. Now, I know that some scan tools you have to go into them manually using a scan tool. Other ones, they'll just walk you through the process. If you guys aren't already currently following me on Instagram or Facebook, actually, as I run into vehicles that have a certain sequence of buttons and things you have to press, I've actually been putting them on Facebook and Instagram for you. So be sure to go to the YouTube homepage, click on the link for Facebook and Instagram, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Most recently, I think we've done the Toyota FJ, we've covered the Jeep Renegade using the Autel, we've also covered Chevrolet, we've covered Chrysler, I think it was a Chrysler 300, or maybe it was a Dodge, I can't remember. We also did a Honda, so there's a handful of them that I've actually done and posted. And as I find that unique procedure that you have to do in order to reset your oil life, I'll be sure to share it. But getting back to the scan tool for a minute, most scan tools, Launch, Autel, Snap-on, they'll have, if it has it, it'll have an oil life reset function that you can press and go into. From some of the other reviews that I saw from the C-Reader 123E, this capability is right here on the main screen. On this one, it's not. I have not found a way to be able to go in and electronically change the oil life to 100% if the vehicle demands me to physically go into the computer. So I think that would be a downfall because of how much this tool actually costs. I think you could pick it up on promo, if I'm not mistaken, for like 133 bucks or 138 bucks. So not a very expensive scan tool, but with the connectivity being the way that it is, here's my dislike. So the connectivity. All right, so I got this scan tool on Thursday of last week, and I've used it for 1 week solid. And I don't know if that's enough time sufficiently to give you a thorough review, but I've used it on at least 24 vehicles. My interpretation of the review that I wanted to give is this intermediate scan tool worth it? And I want to say no, okay? Because I've only been able to connect to half the cars I've plugged it into. Of the half that I couldn't connect automatically, 25% of them manually I had to go in and select what year, make, model, vehicle, everything else. And of the other 25%, it wouldn't connect at all. There would be a failure or a fault code, or it'd say could not connect, and I would get no information at all. The ones that it can auto ID right out the gate, you guys saw the diagnostic slot diagnostics where it sits there and it paddle wheels through the VIN number and then shows you. That happens on some vehicles that it can register. The other ones, if it can't find it, you type it in manual and at least you can connect. The ones that you can't connect to, you'll sit there for about a good 10 minutes trying to connect and you can't. So what good is having a scan tool if you can only connect to about half the cars you're ever going to run into? What I found out is that most vehicles that are, I would say about 2007 and newer, it can connect to. Now we had my buddy Aaron's GMC, which was a 2002, and it connected the first time. The second time it wouldn't connect to it whatsoever, so we busted out the Solus Edge. A 96 Ford Mustang that I plugged it into, it wouldn't connect at all. I had to auto ID search it and it wouldn't work, so I went to the manual function, I manually inputted it, and we were able to look at some live data and look at DTCs. I also plugged it into a 2014 Mazda CX-7, connected no problem. I plugged it into a 99 Dodge B2500, and I had to manually input the information. I've plugged it into a 2006 Honda Odyssey, and it seemed to connect really well. Like I said, about half the cars it did, half the cars it did not. I wanted to give a good review of this because I thought it was going to be a really phenomenal tool. Clay from Coons Trucking said it was, and I saw that he had the 123E, so I expected really good things. I have the 123X, which is supposed to be the latest and greatest version, and I gotta tell you guys, I'm not too entirely impressed by it. I was expecting quite a bit more. Some of the features that I do like, though, is the battery voltage test, so I can actually check out the starter drop and charging output and things like that. That's a pretty handy function. It does have global OBD2 as well as manufacturer specific. It should have an auto IM readiness monitor status. You got the updates, you got data. Like I said, that was one of my favorite features, was that I can create a diagnostic report and I can share that report and I can save it. So once I create it, it'll save a whole bunch of them, and it's easily for me to go back and access. But yeah, I'm not really sure what the deal is. So far, I am in contact with an employee from Launch to see what the deal is and if they can fix it. If I can figure out what the glitch is and if there's a fix for it, I'll be sure to share it. But I did want to share this video because I'm not sure how many of you actually have this scan tool and how many times you guys have ran into this issue. But if I had to have my choice, and if I had to recommend this scan tool, nope. I would go with the C-Reader 319, the little pocket reader, and I would pick up something a little bit, maybe more, something a little bit more expensive, I guess, because yeah, if I'm going to spend $138 to $180 on a scan tool, I want it to be able to actually do a fair amount of stuff and connect to most any vehicle that I plug it into. That's just not the case. I don't mind that it doesn't have the automatic oil life reset on it. That's fine. I can look that up through All Data. I can look it up through Direct Hit. But the connectivity thing, that's a huge thing. That's a huge thing. That's all I got for this video. Thanks as always for watching. See you guys next time. Cheers and deuces.